morning, Unity of Flagstaff.
Good morning.
Here we are. Robbie's finishing up his tea, clanking the cup. Stop it. Oh my gosh. It does feel like Sunday morning.
Sorry.
It's awesome. It's good to be here again. New camera. Yay. Thank you, Penny.
Where's your hat, Wiley?
Where's my hat? My hat, it's wool. And the last 2 times it's been itching a lot.
So you'll be the Mad and he'll be the Hatter.
I'll be the Mad and he's the Hatter, yes. And it doesn't matter about hats because we're mad anyway, just as Josie, Robbie, and Penny. We're glad to be here and once again settled in to welcome. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your hearts and listen. So open your hearts and listen. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your heart and listen. So open your heart and listen. You are welcome.
Good Sunday morning and happy Easter. Thank you, Wiley. Thank you, Matt. Josie will be joining us momentarily, and we can always count on Robbie to keep us in line and make us smile. So welcome. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I'm Reverend Penny Honey, and it is a joy to be sharing this Easter Sunday morning with you. There are a lot of places you could have tuned in today. I will guarantee you there are a lot of places on YouTube on Easter Sunday to tune into. So thank you for checking out Unity of Flagstaff's YouTube channel. We also are having Thursday meditations on this same channel, and then we're doing Wednesday virtual circles, prayer circles at 7 o'clock. So check out our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org for that Zoom link. So let's just take a deep, deep breath. You know, that one in the belly breath, where we just feel life entering our body. And we just say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for the coming together of our minds and our hearts, for the sharing of community. You are welcome here. And we invite and we invoke the peace of our souls into this space. We invite and we invoke the light of our divine nature. And we affirm that for every being on this planet. We say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. So this week I have asked Josie Devlin to share an inspirational moment with you all. And I just want to thank her in advance because I know it's going to be amazing. So thank you, Josie.
Thank you, Miss Penni. Hello, everyone out there. I hope this day finds you healthy and happy. So I would imagine around your neighborhood, neighborhoods throughout the state, and even neighborhoods throughout the country, people are leaving little messages on the sidewalks outside of homes. In our neighborhood, first to start off with what clearly were little kids' messages, but as the weeks have gone on, there have been all kinds of encouraging messages, some very childlike and some getting a little bit deeper. The other day we were walking with Blue, our dog, if you don't know who that is, and reading all the messages, and it just brings a little extra step to you. We passed one house, and it had one that made me stop in my tracks. And that message was, you can't stop the waves from coming, but you can learn to surf. And I thought, wow, all these different encouraging messages, that one really resonated with me. And it brought up images in my head. If you have ever been one to be in the ocean and have a large wave looming at you and knocking you over, where you get caught in that swirl under the ocean, under the water. It's dark and it is scary. Finally, if you're lucky, you emerge from that darkness, from underneath that water, and you're back into the bright sunlight gleaming on the waters. So how does that relate to what we're going through today? Well, we unknowingly have been hit by a large wave that came towards us in the coronavirus. We've been hit hard by that wave. Some people may be finding themselves in an emotional or spiritual darkness because our normal life has been greatly disrupted with the social distancing, with staying at home, with fear, with illness, with death. We've been in darkness. But with all darkness, there comes light. We will emerge from this. We will see the light again, just as if you're coming out of the depths of the ocean. When we see that light, we can imagine freely floating on that surfboard of life. We can bask in the light. We can be grateful for everything that we have in our life, even during the dark times. Because with darkness comes light. You can't have one without the other. So stay healthy, kindle your inner light, and when we emerge from our shelter, we will shine brighter than ever before. So love to you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands. Have a great day. And it's Mr. Wiley.
Lean in, lean in to what is here and now. Lean in and lean in. Lean into yes. silence we share, lean in. We say yes to God. 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 There's a song well loved in our community. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am the light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am. I am as God created me. I am the light in this world. I am as God created me. I am, I am, I am. You created you. You are, you are, you are. You are as God created you. You are the light in this world. You are as God created you. You are, you are, you are. We are as God created us. We are the light in this world. We are as God created us. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are as God created us. We are the light in this world. We are as God created us. We are, we are, we are.
Yay. And we are. And we are. So I just want to take a moment and I want to appreciate this beautiful backdrop. And we have Robbie Bergman to thank you for that. So thank you. And those lights, and pretty cool, huh? We keep this up and we will look like pros. And this week we'll try to only do this once because last week we did it 3 times. Yep, but you know what? That's all right. Because what I'm realizing after a week of feeling like I was doing things 3 times and having to do and redo, I got reminded that there's light in it. And thank you, Josie, for reminding me of that again. The world needs light. And I miss you. The world needs your light. You know, at first glance, the story of Easter can be a little dark. In fact, I struggle a little bit, and I've said that to you probably on every Easter that I have been honored to serve in this ministry. I struggle because it tends to be a little dark. I don't do dark very well. But like Josie reminded us, you cannot have one without the other. You know, it would be easy for us to kind of get into that darkness, wouldn't it, in this time? Sounds like we need to take a walk in Josie's neighborhood,
Yes.
where they're bringing light through chalk on the sidewalk, right? There's light all around us. You know, and Easter truly is about light. In fact, it's even placed on the calendar based on the first Sunday after a full moon. It's all about light. You know, you take the word Easter itself, and there's a little conversation about this, and I'm sure people will have a different opinion, but that's okay, because what I found out about the word Easter was this. Estra, who was a pagan goddess, and she was honored for fertility and new birth and was celebrated in the month of April. And then there's the English word, of course, Easter, which comes from an older German word for east. Now, that comes from an older Latin word, dawn. Okay, we could get into all of this for a long time, but the point of this, according to the editor-at-large at Webster, is the basic logic seems to be Easter is spring, sun, dawn, and east. And Reverend Penny Honey says it's light. Where does the sun come up? In the east. Where do we start to feel the new birth of a new day? In the dawn. In the new dawn. You know, the human body actually literally glows. Did you know that? We actually emit light. Our bodies do. Scientists are now revealing that it's extremely small quantities, but we're doing it. We're putting out light all the time. In fact, every living creature puts light out. So no matter how dark this planet might appear to get, we got this. It's moving through us all the time. Physically, light is moving through us all the time. You know, it'd be easy to get into that as a science experiment, right? And a conversation. But what I'm more interested in talking about today is the light that is residing and moving through you all the time. You know, we may look for the light in the story of Easter, and that'll give us a little point of reference, but the truth of the matter is, it's all the time. It's around us all the time. We have it in us all the time. When Jesus, the master teacher, and what we here in Unity like to say, the example, not the exception, when he spoke to the people and he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Now, there are folks today that are literally interpreting that, and I appreciate where they're coming from. And I support them in that belief. Metaphysically, when we take that same verse, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, will have the light of life. What we believe is being said there is this: you are the light of the world. You and you and you and you and you and me. We're the light of the world. And whoever chooses a Christ consciousness, whoever chooses to move into a consciousness of recognizing and beholding their divinity will never walk in the dark. You will never walk in the dark as long as you remain centered in your Christ consciousness. And let me tell you, there were days this week I wasn't there. In fact, probably 2 hours ago, I wasn't there. But that doesn't diminish the light that resides within me. And I came into a room of people that love me and support me, and they reminded me that it resides within me. Robbie says, we gotta pray, and he was right. This has not been what I would consider a light-filled week, and I will tell you, Holy Week, as it is recorded, was not a light-filled week. But the light is there. It's right there. It shows up in the chalk drawings on the sidewalk. It shows up in kindness. It shows up in compassion. It shows up when somebody says, we need to pray. Penny, we need to pray. We need to move back to center of our Christ consciousness, and we need to claim the light that we are. The world needs our light. Not just because there's a virus, but because the world needs our light. We are the Christ consciousness. We are the story of Easter. And the cool thing about this light deal that resides within us, that is expressed through compassion and love and kindness and just good neighboring, that light is right there. We don't have to get curbside service for it. We don't have to go through a drive-through window. We don't even have to order it online. It's just right there. Myrtle Fillmore reminds us of this. She says, you know, you need to think of God, and I just think this is the way Myrtle sounded. You know, you need to think of God, the all-powerful healer, as being already within you. The light of God resides in every part of your mind, your heart, and your body. You know, that's pretty good news, and I'll tell you, on Thursday it was really good news for me. Because I just didn't have a good Thursday. I didn't have a good Friday, even though it was Good Friday, right? But the light remained around me, and the people around me held that torch. And that is what Myrtle Fillmore was reminding us of. We don't pray out there somewhere. We don't hope that the light will arrive. It's residing within us. And how could it not? Do you know, check this out, 99% of our body is made up of oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen. Now, did you know that you are completely connected to every everything on the planet. And this is actually proven by the elements that exist in the dirt itself. Did you know that 2,500 billion tons of carbon are in the dirt alone? Some of that's on my kitchen floor. We are as much the dirt of the earth as we are the air, as we are the water. We are one with all of it, and all of it is one with the light. We just really have to claim the fact that even though sometimes we show up, Penny, less than the light that we have the capacity to be, that the people around us still see it. That the people around us know innately at a spiritual gut level that you are light. That you are light. And yes, there is darkness in the world. You will not hear me say there isn't, because there is. In fact, the traditional story of Easter, as I mentioned before, gets into a lot of that darkness. The darkness that was expressed through the actions of people. The ignorance, the anger, just mean behavior. There's darkness in this world, folks. And we are reminded by Viktor Frankl, what is to give light must endure burning. What is to give light must endure burning. There's always a burning down. There's always some kind of destruction, even in the caterpillar, that becomes the beautiful butterfly. There is a breaking down of elements. There is a burning down. And then there is a pile of embers. And when we allow ourselves to be that expression of light, we can stir those embers up. That same compassion, that same love, that same connection is what we stir those embers up, and we create the light that warms us and fuels us. Have you ever had a time in your life that you felt like you were in total destruction? I've had times in my life I've been in total destruction mode. Those times in your life, I offer up as your crucifixion. There have been moments in my life that I felt like I was truly being crucified. Now, I know there is a physical aspect to crucifixion, not one that we can really relate to because it's not something that in today's society is used. In the day and time of the original Easter story, it was a pretty common practice. It doesn't make it any less awful. But folks, I offer to you, be gentle with you. There are moments in your life that you have literally walked through times that felt like a crucifixion. In metaphysics, it means to cross out. And so you're crossing out, you're releasing something, you are renewing within the darkness, the light that is wanting to express. Right now, it feels a little dark on our planet. In fact, the whole planet. This isn't isolated to a country. This is the whole planet having an experience, and there's some darkness around it. The story of Easter couldn't be timed better, because it is the story of light. It is the story of being resurrected from that darkness, from the depths of where we feel so much angst and fear. We have fear around our financial futures. We have fear around our health. We have fear around the well-being of the people that we love. That's the darkness that we are now moving through. And we've done it before, and we are absolutely going to be resurrected in this. And the Easter story is the reminder of that. It's the proof of that. Wasn't that the Easter message? Even though in unity we affirm that there's one power and one presence, and that is good, that does not mean that there is not darkness on this planet. What it says is there's one power. The only element that has the power is the good. So on those days that it feels so dark and it feels like the dark is winning and the bad guys are getting ahead and we're not gaining any ground, the light is just simmering in those embers. It's waiting to be stirred up with a higher consciousness. It's waiting to express itself in a greater, brighter way. That is the story of Easter. There was a resurrection and there was an ascension, and we are the expressions of that. And the story of Easter is our point of reference. The light resides within. I love what Ernest Holmes tells us about the story of Easter. He says, our conclusion is not that dead men live again, but that a living man never dies. When we recognize the life and the light within us, we are always and we are infinite. And living is the light. That is the light. And we are meant to shine, folks. It resides within us, and if Easter teaches us anything, it is that even in the darkest of situations, the light, in fact, will prevail. Light is ever present, burning as an ember, waiting to be stirred within us. That is our Easter story, and it doesn't have to be limited to April. We can go with the darker of the two stories of Easter. We can pin our hopes on someone else's resurrection. Or we can give our life the inspiration and the connection and stir those embers of light within us. And as Charles Fillmore tells us, Easter is teaching us not how to die. It's teaching us how to live. We are the light. And we do this, as the psalmist tells us, the unfolding of your words give light. It gives understanding to the simple. As in Unity Principle number 5 reminds us, through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. We live it. You bring your light,